My name's Courtney Gilbert. I'm curator of visual arts at Sun Valley Museum of Art, and the exhibition that we have up this summer is called Gardens, Collaborations with Nature. There are three main ideas driving the exhibition. The idea of gardens as a space where we work in partnership with nature, sometimes with great success and sometimes with challenges. The idea of gardens as places where nature is managed, sort of the inverse of wilderness. It's managed and controlled and curated. And then also gardens as places that transform human beings. Whether you're a gardener or a visitor, gardens can be spaces for joy, for solace, and for artistic creativity. I'm incredibly grateful to each of the artists who participated in this exhibition: Ana Maria Hernando, Sarah Jones, Katie Stone, and Jill Weinstock.
My name is Ana Maria Hernando, and I'm a multidisciplinary artist. For this show, I concentrated in installation work, and for my installation work, I use a lot of textiles. I come from a family of lovers of textiles. My maternal grandparents began a small textile factory more than 100 years ago. And it's still going, and as a teenager, I would go and work there in the summers. The women in my family would come in the afternoons together, and everybody would be or embroidering, or crocheting, or sewing. And throughout my life, these circles of women coming together have inspired me for my work. And a lot of what I make, it's an homage to this invisibility of the work of women, that where they make things that then they become the background for a dinner, when they make a tablecloth, for a celebration, that then it becomes invisible. For this show, I have pieces behind me, a piece called La Memoria de la Montaña, the memory of the mountain. It's my poetic take on what it is that the mountain remembers in their thousands of years of life, and the seasons, what is that the mountain remembers? Everything has a memory. And even though we might not see it, the memory is the layer that is informing everything that's coming forward.
Hi, my name is Sarah Jones. I'm an artist. I've made the installation here called cerements. Cerements are sacred fabrics used around death. Three consistent themes in my work are the botanical, what is hard to see, and chronicling loss. One of the main influencers of this work is the herbarium sheet, and the herbarium sheet is an 11.5 by 16.5 piece of stiff paper that pressed plants are bound and mounted on and stored in the world's herbaria. There are 27 banners in the piece that have the white silhouettes of the plants. There are also wall pieces that are on paper, that are actually on classic herbarium sheets, that are built from plant fabrics and other found objects. And then there are a couple of images that are made by poncing, which is an old form of decorative paperwork, where I've taken the silhouette of a plant and ponced around it, so that what you see is the plant is defined by the holes around it. So it's another method of trying to show what is hard to see and what we are perhaps losing. Climate change is hard to see, extinction is hard to see, loss is hard to see, and so the work is white on white, very ephemeral, all on found fabrics, and it depicts these plants as being absent because I'm talking about the loss of the plants.
My name's Katie Stone, and I'm an artist based in Seattle. I do installation and painting, drawing, and the body of work that I did for the exhibition here is actually a really private body of work that I've done for the past 20 years, where I take materials that are distinctively synthetic and unnatural out into nature and make little gestures in the landscape with these materials, and then capture them and document them through photographs. And part of this work is really about inviting people to look really carefully and closely, thinking about what is enrapturing and beautiful and worthy of focus and attention, and gardens are like that for people, but also being outside in nature and thinking about what belongs and what doesn't, and what's overlooked and what's worth lingering on. And a couple of the pieces, one in particular behind me, is a piece that I created, the first piece I created when I was here, which is an interaction with an iris, where I traced the negative shape of the petal of the iris and made a set of drawings, cut out drawings, and layered them. And one is the first photo of the first day, and then the second image is on day 7. So you can see how the piece changed over time. And there's a lot of that embedded in these pieces, as well as a lot of temporariness and kind of embracing the change and the fleetingness of everything.
Hi, my name is Jill Weinstock. I'm an artist included in the show, and the works that I'm showing are part of the Unwanted Collaborator series. They're all works on paper that I've been working on for the last 2 years during the pandemic. The idea behind the Unwanted Collaborator is this idea of the human-made and the plant life coming together, and maybe not necessarily wanting to join forces, but using them to kind of talk to one another, adding fabric, learning how to embroider, learning how to press flowers, using thread to suture these two elements together. And so this idea of the Unwanted Collaborator series is really about this opportunity to take this natural plant life, these embroidered pieces, and putting them together, and then also freezing them in a moment in time and preserving them. And so you'll see that there's rubber used in some of these pieces that kind of encapsulate the live plant life to almost fossilize them in a way similar to a fly caught in amber rubber. And then the thread, having it kind of exposed and having that become like the suturing too, the elements that kind of come together, feel like those two, the rubber and the thread, and then the natural plant life and the embroidered parts, all coming together to create a whole new species.
I hope everybody who's spending time in the Valley this summer will come in and see the exhibition. It's the perfect time of year to think about our human relationship to gardens and to celebrate the beauty that they bring to our lives through artwork that is incredibly gorgeous and really thought-provoking.